Thanks for being here. My name is Tom Genung. I'd like to introduce my wife, Kathy, before I forget to do that. She's with us here today. Wow, what a great bunch of information. Let's give them a hand, okay? We're from Nebraska, so it's hard to get here. It's almost as bad as Kelly's experience of last night. But it's a pleasure to be in Washington, D.C., and you need to be proud of where you work and the things that you're considering here today. I don't know who you all are, and I won't get a chance to meet you, but it's nice to see you all and just be a part of this whole process. I don't have a lot of information when it comes to the dollars and cents and that sort of thing, but basically who we are is we're family caregivers. And I guess because of the coalition, and I want to thank the coalition for getting us here and helping us be a part of this effort, because I was unaware that these kinds of efforts were going on, sort of. Because, you know, I don't pay attention to those kinds of things. As a family caregiver, I just want to get the things done that need to be done on a daily basis. And Kelly talked about what an outstanding list of chores there are to do. Just a little bit more about myself and how this took place as far as looking after my mom. And what you're going to hear me do is jump around quite a bit because I'm basically kind of a disorganized person, but you know, there's just so much to try to communicate after looking after my mom for 11 years. And what I started to say there is you're going to hear me things like look after rather than caregiver, because I have a tendency to do things like take away the clinical aspect of daily work in this kind of thing. The reason, one of the reasons I think that I was able to move into the idea of looking after my mom, there's a lot of reasons for that, but one of them has to do with that I worked in developmental disabilities for a lot of years. In doing so, I was involved with case management for about a little over 300 clients in a 22-county region. And we talked about things like assisted living and assisted employment and supported living way before those were popular terms. We started talking about that way back in the middle and late 70s, and we were a part of a community-based program that took me in the direction of these kinds of philosophies and helped me become an advocate for people. And so that's just kind of part of my background that probably allowed us to get away with some of the things that we actually got away with. And when I say got away with is because we took care of my mother in her own home through her death. And that was not necessarily an easy task because my mom had Parkinson's disease. And it, you know, that process and the identification of the Parkinson's disease started 11 years, at least 11 years with the diagnosis before we started doing all the things that we ultimately got into. She was walking and talking and doing everyday things. In fact, at age 85, she got her last degree from Hastings College. We live in Hastings, Nebraska, and you know, there's not a lot of resources when it comes to the kinds of things that these folks talked about today. At least they're not easily identified. You go to the doctor.